For as long as man is taken to the skies, the specter of hijacking has loomed large. The history of aviation is tragically punctuated by such events, moments where the blue yonder turned into a terrifying fight for survival. Each event served as a grim reminder of the vulnerability of flight and the potential for human darkness to reach even the heavens. These events, shocking as they are, have forced us to adapt and bolster security measures. Every new act of air piracy has led to the refinement of protocols and the strengthening of security. It is a constant arms race against those who would seek to terrorize, fueled by the lessons learned from each harrowing ordeal. Yet even with the most stringent security measures, the human element remains. It is the courage of passengers and crew, the swift and decisive actions of authorities on the ground, that often dictate the course of these terrifying events. The stories that emerge from these events are a complex tapestry of fear and bravery, of desperation and hope. These are the stories that need to be told, not to glorify the hijackers, but to honor the victims, celebrate the heroes, and remind us all of the fragility of peace. It began subtly, almost imperceptibly, a ripple of unease in the mundane routine of the flight. The gentle hum of the engines, the soft murmur of conversation, the clinking of ice in plastic cups, all were background noise to the unfolding drama. Then, a sudden shift, a commotion toward the front of the plane. Raised voices, sharp and unmistakable, cutting through the calm. Panic spread like wildfire through the cabin as the stark reality of the situation sunk in. The hijackers, their faces contorted in grim determination, barked orders, their voices amplified by the fear that gripped the passengers. In that moment, the mundane journey transformed into a desperate fight for survival, a terrifying ordeal etched into the memories of all on board. Fear, raw and primal, painted itself on the faces of the passengers. Eyes darted nervously, searching for reassurance that was nowhere to be found. A mother clutched her child, whispering reassurances she herself did not believe. A businessman, his face ashen, gripped his briefcase as if it were a lifeline. Yet even in the face of such terror, whispers of courage began to surface. A quiet determination settled over some, a steely resolve to survive. A young couple held hands, drawing strength from each other. An elderly man, his weathered face etched with concern, offered a comforting smile to a terrified flight attendant. The crew, trained for such situations, fought to maintain a semblance of calm. Their voices, though laced with tension, were steady as they relayed instructions to the passengers. These were ordinary people thrust into an extraordinary situation. Yet, in the face of unimaginable terror, they found strength within themselves and in each other. On the ground, a flurry of activity erupted. The hijacking, relayed by a tense call from the cockpit, sent shockwaves through the control tower. Air traffic controllers, their voices tight with urgency, scrambled to divert other planes away from the hijacked aircraft. Negotiators, trained in the delicate art of crisis communication, were assembled, their voices calm and reassuring as they attempted to establish contact with the hijackers. Every word was carefully chosen, every inflection meticulously modulated in an attempt to de-escalate the situation and secure the safe release of the hostages. Special forces, clad in black and armed to the teeth, assembled at a safe distance from the grounded plane. They were the last line of defense, the ultimate deterrent should negotiations fail. The world watched with bated breath as the drama unfolded on live television. The ordeal, like all hijackings, eventually came to an end. The details, the specific chain of events that led to the resolution, would be analyzed and debated for years to come. But for those on board the plane, the scars of that day would linger long after the headlines faded. Some would find solace in the arms of loved ones, their relief at being reunited a balm to their wounded souls. Others would struggle to come to terms with their experience, haunted by nightmares and flashbacks, their lives forever altered by the trauma they had endured. Security measures would be reviewed and revised, protocols tightened, and technology upgraded in an attempt to prevent such events from happening again. But beyond the immediate response, the hijacking would leave a deeper scar, a collective trauma etched into the soul of flight.